So we're a little bit sad that it's no longer in Canadian hands 100%. Now, if you take a look to your right, you'll notice there's a castle right here on the right-hand side. You can see the turret with the Canadian flag. And this is a armory. It's from 1915. And this armory is quite special because it was built, 100 of them like this, across the nation. And just in time for World War I, because they traded local militia forces within those walls that would go on to fight in World War I. Nowadays, it is a cadet training center. It is also home to the Canadian Scottish Regiment, but more importantly than all that is that it protects the largest collection of Scotch whiskey in the entire nation. So as soon as we finish our 9 gallons of allotted beer by March or April, we can head on over there and see if they'll give us a few drams of the whiskey that the armory is protected. But usually they say sign on this line and you need to enroll before they're going to give us any of that whiskey. One last place of worship to point out, coming up on our left, this is our hockey rink. This is our, what we call the SOFA, the Save On Foods Arena. It's the Memorial Center. And we do not have an NHL team here in Victoria. We have a Western Hockey League team, and they are called the Victoria Royals. This is also, if we have any larger concerts, that this is where the artists will perform. And it's about 5,000 seats set up for a concert. So we don't get any Biebers, and not generally Celine Dion won't come and see us here. Now, back in 1925, we actually had the Stanley Cup in Victoria for that season because our Victoria Cougars was an amateur team that they allowed to play with the professionals in 1925, and they actually beat the Montreal Canadiens in a best-of-5 series, 3-1, and we brought the Stanley Cup here for that 1 year only. Now we're about to head on down to our Chinatown. It is a National Historic Monument here in Canada, and we have the second oldest Chinatown in North America after
San Francisco?
San Francisco. You got it. We have the second oldest Chinatown in all of North America. San Francisco number 1, and we are number 2. Now there is a really important connection with that, but before we talk about it, now, I just want you to take a look to the right. Once we get to the second crosswalk, if you take a look to your right, we're now actually on the side of that original department store. And what you can see when you look through these bushes is the original coat of arms of the Hudson's Bay Fur Trading Company. It's a modernized version. It's backlit, and it becomes evidently clear that they were a fur trading corporation with the 2 elk that are holding up the shield with a fox on the top. And then the shield, there would have been a red cross, St. George's cross, with a beaver in either quadrant. Now, Chinatown. Why do we have the second oldest Chinatown in North America here? Well, back in 1858, gold was discovered in the Fraser Canyon. The Fraser Canyon is just northeast of the city of Vancouver. At that time, there was no Vancouver, so there was no place to bring that gold, so they brought it to the fort here in Victoria, where at that time, about 2,000 people were living. We did not know what to do with it. We were fur traders, not gold miners, and so the gold was sent down to San Francisco, to California. And man, did they have a pretty good idea what to do with it, because they had just completed their first gold rush there in California, and also the railway had just been completed. The Transcontinental Railway had ended up and arrived in San Francisco. So in 6 short weeks in the spring of 1858, our little fur trading post was transformed from 2,000 people to close to 30,000 people. In 6 weeks, people were coming here in droves on steamships to be able to fill up on the materials and all the supplies they needed to then take another steamship off of the island to head on up to the Fraser Canyon. Many of those folks were Chinese because they just helped with the railway and participated in the gold rush in California. So as the captain gets to this next crosswalk, on our left-hand side, we've got a beautiful mural of one of the founding Chinese families of our Chinatown. And on the right-hand side, we've got the last remaining Chinese school from 1909. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, it is still in operation today. At that time, Chinese students, when they arrived in the 1850s, they were not allowed to attend school with the English-speaking students until they learned English. Obviously, education being very important to the Chinese population, they said, fine, we'll build our own schools. They built 3, and that is the last one that remains. And on the weekends, there are language classes that are given, and also